I really feel like I learned a lot in these 4 episodes. And today, I'm by myself. And you can kind of see the maturity off of that. I really believe in the idea of leaving a legacy behind, just like how they say it. I want to know what you guys think about it. I want to talk about my last 4 episodes. And I hope it means something to the younger generation, the younger audience that is watching this podcast. And that's why I'm here in a suit and a tie. I also want to dive into bigger stuff. I was surprised. In the next episodes, I'll be having a way for you to learn how to navigate your way through life. Hi guys, welcome to Gen Z Versus. I'm your host as always, Shareef, and today, I'm by myself. In this podcast, I want to talk about my last 4 episodes. So the last 4 episodes I had were basically experiments. I was asking very, very similar questions to both Corey and Josh, and I was going to compare their answers in this episode. We can kind of see the maturity levels for both sides. Obviously, Josh being a little younger, he's 19 years old, he's in college.
You know what I'm saying? She's like a 10 on 10, like in Kaylani type bad. You know what I'm saying?
Kaylani?
I might have to give her the dick. I'm not gonna lie, I might have to grab. I might have to grab that bitch, you know what I'm saying?
He's a whole different person than Corey, who had more experience in his life.
I think a great relationship starts first with yourself. You gotta have a good relationship with yourself. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you're gonna teach somebody how to love you.
Corey shared some very, very insightful stories about, his past, him being involved and him going away from certain stuff, like how when he talked about his kid, when he talked about the story about him and his best friend over at the gas station.
I would say probably when I was between 10, 11 or 12, one of my best friends, he was shot and killed at home.
For Josh, it's more about parties. He had the party life. They had a whole different dynamic of life, and you can kind of see the maturity off of that.
They had a glow night, okay?
It's a glow night.
Glow night. So we had all glow sticks and shit like that. It was playing cool music.
Yeah.
And after the glow night, by the way, I was turning that bitch up. I had my gang. We had a circle going. All the white people was hyping us up.
One thing that I got from this is the way they both view women, right? They both view women in a very, very similar way. Josh was trying to find the one, and Corey did kind of talk about that, but he also did say that in this life, in this world today, it's kind of hard to find someone who you can really be with, as everyone's going with this hookup culture. Josh agrees with that as well. And I find it very, very interesting how that dynamic plays in today. When we go to school, when we go to parties, when we go to clubs, all these places, we can kind of see how everyone is essentially as teenagers, right? Everyone wants to be a part of the hookup culture. Everyone likes the rap music talking about women and basically cucking men, in a sense. Telling them that, you shouldn't be able to find the one. Women are whores, men are crap. There's a lot of brainwashing going on both sides. And I purposely created this podcast in order for us to really, really talk about this and really bring us both together. And I'm not talking about just men and women. I'm talking about everyone in every single culture, every single background, every single length, sizes, ages, whatever it is. I wanted to create this podcast specifically for that. And I wanted, like I said, to have the first 4 episodes as experiments. So another thing that I had noticed about this, and this is a lot of questions I asked, was philosophical questions, such as the meaning of life. What do you think the meaning of life is?
What is the meaning of life to you?
When I asked Corey what the meaning of life is, and when I asked Josh the meaning of life is, they both had a very, very similar answer, and that's leaving a legacy.
Your legacy.
Legacy.
Your pedestal. You put your foot down. This has my name on it. I left this here for you and all of you.
Leaving something behind.
And when I asked them about kids, they both had, Josh might have a kid. Like, what is your perspective on kids?
Kids.
And Corey doesn't have a kid, but that was the fun comedy part about Josh. But when I both asked them about legacy, they both mentioned kids. When I asked them about kids, they both were fully with it. And I believe as we go on in this world and how we live, I really believe in the idea of leaving a legacy behind, just like how they say it. I truly believe in that. And having a kid is one way to leave your legacy. that is your legacy in a sense. When you leave on this earth, what are you leaving behind? You're leaving your kids.
Kids, man. Your kids is the most important thing that you have to leave your because they carry your name.
When they both had similar answers to that, I was surprised. As a 19-year-old kid who had a very similar answer to a 38-year-old man. That is something that I really take account for when we grow older and when I get older. I purposely created this podcast for another reason as well. I wanted everyone to be able to see me as themselves when I'm interviewing these older people. When I'm interviewing these older men, older women, whoever it is, they can see themselves in me whenever they're trying to learn. And I really feel like I learned a lot in these 4 episodes. A part of that is trying to understand how to really present yourself in this world, right? When I asked Corey about how to dress as a man, he said, well, dressing is what people first see about you. And that's why I'm here in a suit and a tie, because a tuxedo at that. I really like dressing in a tuxedo, that's first of all. But the idea of dressing excellent, the idea of presenting yourself in a way to people really means something to me. And I hope it means something to the younger generation, the younger audience that is watching this podcast. As this podcast is a way for you to learn how to navigate your way through life when you grow older. And just like I'm trying to learn how to navigate my life as a young man. So I really appreciate you guys for tuning in this podcast. And in the next episodes, I'll be having different types of stuff. I'm gonna keep the interview stuff going on. And I'm also gonna talk about some things that I think about in social media, with TikTok, with Instagram, with the hookup culture, with the culture that's going on in today's world. I'm also gonna include, if you guys would want, a group of people sitting down and we all have a group discussion of all different backgrounds, of all different beliefs, of all different cultures, of all different, we'll all talk about it. And we'll have a group discussion here so we can really get to common ground. Thank you guys for watching. I wanted to also mention some of the topics I want to be talking about, and I wanted to see what you guys would think about it. I do want to keep talking about women. I do want to keep talking about men and dating and relationships. I also want to dive into bigger stuff, like certain stuff that are going on through the world in terms of TikTok, in terms of culture, in terms of just having the, how do you say it? The instant gratification. All these topics I want to be covering in the next episodes. I want to know what you guys think about it. And let me know what you guys want to hear.